Welcome to a super duper exciting edition of Inside Movie Weekly. I'm Ryan Boni. I'm joined yet again by our talented cast of characters here.
Talented long pause cast of characters.
He was trying to figure out what to say.
You know, one of my favorite things about the beginning of the show is when that intro music comes up, Boni just goes right to the screen.
I'm ready.
He is in.
I want to be ready.
Just in case they cut that music a little early to surprise him, he's in.
I'm ready.
You never know. How many news outtakes have we seen? People didn't know they were on TV. Right? You got to be ready.
You got to be ready. You never know what's going to happen. Justin Pinto is also here.
I am here.
I know him.
He's ready for whatever. We just had some sea otters on literally seconds ago. And now you can see, oh, there's one.
There we go.
There's one out of the 6 sea otters there on.
Pinto's got some messages coming in.
Oh, yeah. We got a lot of things moving parts.
Are we going to have to delay the show here? Or are we okay? So the sea otters seem to be happy. It doesn't look like a very sunny day there in Monterey Bay, but what can you do? But it was a sunny day, speaking of sunny days, for Disney Corporation. Did you hear they had another good weekend this past weekend?
I heard.
There was this little movie called Aladdin that came out.
Did all right.
It did okay.
Although the first rundown said John Wick, not Aladdin.
Sorry, yeah, I was...
It's all right.
Yeah,
last
I went
week's...
in and I was like, well, it came up 10 minutes before,
you guys
but I
both
have
looked.
a couple minutes. I'll look in. John Wick.
So Aladdin had $85 million
I thought 90 now.
on for the 3 days, and then over $100 million for the 4 days because we have to count the entire movie.
Oh, my God.
Why not?
It's the top 5
By the way,
Memorial Day weekends ever.
The list that you sent, by the way, was phenomenal. The movies that have a dragon but aren't
about a dragon.
About a dragon. That is like we're gonna have to go over that a little bit later.
I'm not sure if you could find it because I'm not sure how I got to that list, but I did get to that list.
Wow.
Yes.
So Aladdin's doing all right. So they're probably gonna make some more of these live action movies, huh? They're not gonna stop
There's
here.
another one coming.
Yeah.
I mean, Dumbo, Aladdin, and Lion King all in like a 6-month span.
Didn't they spread that out a little bit?
I don't know. I mean, they're going to burn through this in 5 years.
Well,
live version of Great Mouse Detective.
I was just thinking Rescuers Down Under.
Oh.
Yes.
Sadly, I actually bought all the books that the Rescuers are based on, and I've been reading them.
If The Lion King is like 98% CGI, does that count as live action?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Looks like
I mean, it looks really good.
it is live. It looks like...
Yeah. Is there anything really live in The Lion King?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
don't know.
Dumbo, we had people.
Truth.
Aladdin, we have people.
Truth.
Beauty and the Beast, people.
And pots.
What was the other one they did recently? Jungle Book.
Person or two.
Yes.
I really liked the Jungle
You
Book.
did. I remember you saying that.
And then they've just gone off the rails.
Well, you know.
Beauty and the Beast was good. I don't know. how
Beauty and
much
the Beast has
interest-
made a lot of money. It's in like the
Oh.
top 15 all time. I just saw
Oh, yeah,
again.
it's boats of money.
Thus, they keep doing it.
Yep.
Speaking of keep doing it here, there's happens to be Collider just did a list 2 days ago of the upcoming live action remakes, and as we mentioned, Lion King. You don't think that's a real lion cub there?
No, I don't. The preview. There's somebody had the preview. That trailer live action versus the cartoon, like preview.
It's shot for shot.
It's pretty darn close, and it looks pretty good.
And of course, Jon Favreau is directing this thing. So July 19th, we've got that coming up. No problem.
That's at least in the future, a ways.
6 weeks.
And then next year, you got Mulan
7
coming
weeks.
out.
7 weeks.
Yeah. Okay.
Mulan. Oh
Mulan.
my goodness.
We got
Interesting.
Maleficent,
That's not
Mistress of
technically
Evil.
a
Does that not count? Oh.
That's a new movie.
What's
right?
I'm sorry. This is upcoming live action. It's not just remakes.
Lady
and the Tramp to be announced. We haven't.
So we're not sure, but maybe.
And of course, Pinocchio also has been on this. It's been sitting on the to be announced list for a while now. I feel like
We can skip that one.
Hunchback, Notre Dame.
I think we're starting to scrape.
We may have to hold off.
Digging.
Hercules coming.
Perhaps they'll coincide this with the rebuilding of the Notre
Well, they got
Dame
some time for that.
Cathedral.
They got some
and
time for that, don't they? I mean, that's gonna.
Little Mermaid.
Prince Charming.
That I have to respect. That's
and of
a
course, you
decent
look at to
idea.
see the director writer of that. Can you see it on the screen?
cannot
Stephen
see it.
Chbosky,
Oh.
who he just announced he just finished his second novel, I guess, right? Like it took him 19 years after Perks of the Wallflower to do.
And he did Beauty and the Beast as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So he's obviously in Oliver Twist.
I wouldn't call it a remake. unless they're really basing it on that version.
Again, this is just
which
live
was
action.
kind of junky.
James and the Giant Peach, which would be freaky live action. I gotta say.
It's a lot of.
This is just
Cruella.
this is just them making movies up. This is not actually. This is we've left the
Tink,
They're out of ideas.
They're not out of ideas.
Peter
it's
Pan.
just-
It just keeps going. Sword in the Stone. Obviously, everything's gonna happen. Lilo and Stitch, Little Mermaid.
I think they're just listing.
They're just listing
all
movies that they haven't
movies
made
now,
yet.
right?
That's
But
all.
you're saying this guy? I just not a
Saludos,
realist.
amigo.
There's no Black Cauldron on here, though. I'm a little disappointed. I think that would
After
be
the
that
tremendous
would be it.
success of the Black
I
Cauldron.
know. Well, but the books are all. It's a good series of books. And no one I don't think has ever really attacked the Chronicles of Prydain as a series. It could be the next big thing. You never know.
Keep dreaming.
Okay.
Keep the dream alive.
Speaking of dreaming, so a couple stories we ran through real quick last week, and we didn't get to discuss. So Robert Pattinson is now going to be Batman. Sorry, we got to.
I'll throw it to you first, Mr. Pinto.
I don't know who they could say would be Batman that I would actually be like excited
Right.
for. There is like
That's the correct answer.
there is no name that like you say anybody I'd probably go really. Like you could tell me Michael Keaton's coming back, I wouldn't be that excited about it honestly.
I keep thinking this is a missed opportunity to bring back some of the old Batman actors as new roles in existing Batman films. Like I'd said for years, they should contact any of the former actors in the James Bond films and get them to be the new villain, like take over that role. And then more died, and I was like, okay, one's out. You got a couple options left. Get a hold of those people before it's too late. I think that would be brilliant. But truly, when you said there's no great actor who I remember when Michael Keaton was cast, and the entirety of again my small exposure to comicdom at the time was angry. Oh, this is terrible! Worst decision ever! I can't believe it. And it proved to be tremendously successful, even though the film didn't age very well. And I remember Val Kilmer, people were actually, I would say, kind of excited about, and that was.
Well, then there's other things in the movie besides Val Kilmer.
And that was not the worst Batman movie I'd ever seen.
Well, this is true.
And people were really excited when George Clooney was cast, and that was a dog.
Ooh.
That was.
I gotta
Awful.
say, when I went back and rewatched all the movies again, I don't feel like the lead actor was to fault for any of them. I think Val Kilmer was fine.
Oh, I liked Val Kilmer.
I think even George Clooney was fine. In the
No,
okay.
yeah, it's tough to
But
really.
the movie
that
was just
movie
so
itself
bad
was-
around him.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what was going on.
Yeah, that movie was terrible.
But he was a perfect.
I didn't mind
kind
Ben
of
Affleck
Bruce Wayne,
as Batman these last couple times. I mean, it wasn't. The movies are terrible. Well, yeah, but
didn't
the movies didn't do anything either. I mean,
Yeah, the
you know,
movies were. But right,
like
they were both. There was no part of like. I agree with what Boni said. Val Kilmer was not bad. George Clooney was not bad. But I wouldn't say that any of the recent Batman movies that Ben was not that bad. I would have said
Okay.
he was not adding to the movie. I wouldn't have said that Ben did a great job in a terrible movie. I would have said they were both a failure. I will hold out until you see him.
So you want to bring back Val Kilmer, George Clooney,
No.
and Michael Keaton to be the
Oh, yeah,
villains,
the villains
of
Yeah,
Batman?
Pantheon of villains. Oh yeah, and you could recast them, or you
Incredible.
could actually, put them in the shoes of somebody. Wouldn't that be a heck of a lot of fun?
I mean, I said I'll go back to what I read. Somebody said online that if like Michael Keaton came back to be Batman, like way old, and he is Batman Beyond, and Michael Keaton is training him to be the new Batman because he's now, Batman is a human. He's not, an alien. So at some point he does have to age out, theoretically. Now we can keep him the same age, but then we have to keep finding a new actor, or we could spin it around and have, that idea that they had in the cartoon first and the comic books and.
I thought that would be great to age him out, like do the old Frank Miller story. Where training the next guy and the Robin below and all that. That would have been fantastic. Take one of those.
I mean, they could still do it. I mean, they have to,
That would be fantastic. And I loved his performance in Birdman. I thought he was brilliant.
Yeah, I think that'd be interesting. And he's probably the one you could pick because he's the oldest of all the Batmans that they've had. I mean, you could have George Clooney also, but I think Michael Keaton would be a little more.
Oh, iconic.
Yeah, I think that'd be more
And
seen more as a positive.
And what's funny for me is that Christian Bale would be the opposite of what you're talking about, where I think that I personally didn't feel like Christian Bale added a lot to the movies, but the movies were phenomenal. Like,
Around him.
And part of that is the way he was portraying it. I mean, I get it was kind of a point was that, he's not supposed to stand out. He's not supposed to be, he wasn't very actory in it. He was just kind of
inside the movie.
Yeah.
Wrote it. I agree to an extent. I don't think he was bad.
right.
But he was not the best part of any of the movies he was in.
Yeah. But will Robert Pattinson be?
I don't despise him as an actor.
Okay.
I think the Twilight movies were bad. The stories were bad. But I don't think he's a terrible actor. Like, I remember seeing the 5th Harry Potter film that he was in and thinking he was well cast. Charming, good-looking guy, perfect for that role, affable, likable on screen. I don't think he's a bad choice. He's not the person I would choose, but I don't have that option.
You're not casting
Sorry.
Batman?
Sorry.
What's going on?
We will
I'll
start an
wait.
online petition.
I'll wait until I see him. Judge based on what I see.
All right. Why do that?
Don't be sensible, Bastos. Let's make up our minds now before we've seen anything.
By the way, we didn't talk about the weekend beyond. I jumped ahead beyond Aladdin being number one, but
John Wick still going?
John Wick's, of course, was at
This
number
is the 4-day
2.
weekend.
This is and then they made a big deal about bumping off. So Avengers still $22 million
It's not bad.
in week 5, and Detective Pikachu's hanging in there. I don't know,
I almost saw it this weekend.
interesting
but
that
then I
Brightburn and Booksmart, neither one of them had a extremely
didn't. Brightburn
great-
did okay. It's a $6 million budget. It's a Superman horror movie.
Yeah, but I think there were some expectations that it might do a little better than $9.5 million. And look at Dumbo, still pulling in over $1 million. Week 9, they're down there at number 11.
Just a dog. 112. That's not a bad take, but it had 150 budget, right?
170.
170.
But when you take its global, it's over. If you take its foreign box office, it's made like $300 million.
So Aladdin number 1, of course, with Disney. Another story we threw out real quick. There was that rapid fire day at the end of the show last week. I want to talk about Disney going to buy the last chunk of Hulu. Of course, when Hulu started, it was 4 different companies came to, kind of splitting this up. And then Disney bought Time Warner share. They've agreed now to buy, and when they bought Fox, they got Fox's share. Now they've agreed in the next 5 years they're going to buy the Comcast share, which will be the last piece. So Disney's now going to own the entirety of Hulu. Does this mean anything good for Hulu? Is Hulu dead? I mean, Disney Plus is coming out in just a couple months here.
Is the intent to buy it to kill it? Is that what you're
It
asking?
seems kind of weird, but
No,
who's
companies
going
do that all
to?
the
Who else is
time.
going to give them programming to put on Hulu?
Remember Farmore?
Farmore?
The
The
grocery store?
yeah.
You know who bought them out?
Giant Eagle.
Giant Eagle,
Yeah.
just to close them. Remember, let's see, Hills Department Store?
Yeah.
You know who bought them out? Ames, just to kill him.
That didn't work out great for
No,
Ames,
it didn't
did
work out for them at all.
It's like the Sears
I mean,
Kmart thing.
well, Sears Kmart was like,
Let's get together and hope.
try to survive on this one.
Let's hope.
Right, that was 2 companies towards the end of their rope, extending that out a little bit longer. But yeah,
So-
they're buy to eat out, to destroy, to get rid of competition. I mean, that's what same thing's happening in a lot of industries right now. Car companies did the same thing. I know there are other companies that do that, just purchase to eliminate, just to decrease the competition, make it a terrible product. I mean, what was the crummy beer out? What was the green beer out east of here? Rolling Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Rolling Rock was bought pretty much to destroy the brand. I mean, it was a local company, and then just
The beer wasn't great.
well, it wasn't, but there was a following because it was a local
confused there when
company,
you're saying.
and then it was
Yeah,
bought
right.
out and just
Sure.
destroyed. I'm sure they sell some of it, but all the locals jumped ship from it.
So we're now, I mean, we're pretty much at this point that we kind of had been foreseeing with all these streaming services that's,
You have all the streaming services like you have cable. It's right back to your
We're right
cable,
back where we were.
Right back to your cable bill.
well, and
Except
you-
more logins.
I have to wonder too, Netflix is slowly getting picked apart by these companies that are they're going to be, already
They have
have
a
or
lot.
starting to pull their programming. They create a lot of their own.
They have their own stuff, yeah. But it will get to the point where people will bail on Netflix slightly because of.
And Netflix is, in a lot of financial trouble as well because they spend way, way more than they take in.
Doesn't seem
to
like a
try
good
to-
business decision.
It's the same with Amazon. But, Amazon and Netflix doing the same thing, but they're iconic companies just for the revenue they generate. And if they, made that change or people are just buying into it, I think they're counting on the fact that you're not going to worry about the $8 or $10 that you're spending a month on those.
So what's the future hold here? What are we looking at as far
I
as
think it'll come
streaming
down
goes?
to 2 or 3 places versus the 7 or so we have right now.
Or Disney's just going to own it all.
They might.
Because Disney Plus, the predictions are $7 a month or something like that? $6,
announced
$6 or
price,
$7,
$6.99.
$6.99.
For the first 3 months. And then they.
Doesn't matter. If
Oh,
they
they'll get
enough
you.
people,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Well, they'll get enough people. They have great content. I mean, they have a lot of stuff on there.
And the question is going to be whether people buy this in addition to what they're doing or if they're going to be dropping other services in order to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have Hulu, so I'm not.
You might not need to.
I'm not going to. I have no need for it. If I haven't gotten Hulu yet, pretty sure I can avoid
What's
it.
the one? Is it Handmaid's Tale? Is that theirs?
Isn't that Amazon?
I don't think so.
Is that
I
Hulu?
think that's Hulu. I think that's their marquee player.
Yeah, like CBS, what is it? Whatever CBS is. They have that Star Trek Discovery. It's only on the streaming site. But it's like, do I want to pay for the streaming site that, A, I don't watch TV on demand. I don't watch TV live. I usually only on-demand stuff. So am I better off just buying Star Trek Discovery on Blu-ray for $40 as opposed to giving $10 a month to CBS to not watch what I want to watch? You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, Handmaid's Tale is Hulu. I was trying to see who the production company was on that, though, whether or not that's going to make a difference or not.
Disney will buy them too.
Just
Disney's
buy it
got a
all.
lot of cash on hand. Disney can buy what they want.
Boy, are they dumb. They've been so savvy in their decision making. And I remember 10 or 15 years ago when the purchase of Marvel was pretty much going through and thinking to myself, that is a really smart decision. And they were with DC and they were with Marvel, wooing both of them, trying to see what they could get back. And I think Marvel's great success was they were not doing well financially at the time. They had to sell to someone.
We're almost out of time already. This weekend we've got a big, giant fight between Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and Rocket Man.
I don't think it's going to be much of a fight.
And then Ma's in there as well. But is there any chance?
I mean, I don't know if Godzilla will be number one over Aladdin. 90 million. I say Aladdin makes 40 million. Will Godzilla make 40 million?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
They did a lot of talking about it being the sort of sequel to King Kong with the new Godzilla. King
There's
Kong
supposed to
movie
be this
next
shared
year.
universe and so on.
And I liked that King Kong movie.
I hear
thought
great
it
things.
was great. I mean, if this was even in that category, wow, it's going to be another great movie.
There's
But
a big cast in this Godzilla movie. They showed a lot of big creatures.
I've not seen enough previews of it at all. I haven't seen anything.
I don't know. People I know, people who don't watch a lot of movies, my friends were texting me. They're like, "This Godzilla movie looks great,"
Yeah.
and they're not big movie people, outside of like the Avengers and the things that we would all see anyways. But
Rocket Man have any chance here to do? I was just curious if the Bohemian Rhapsody effect was going to kind of spill over the same groupings of peoples.
I mean, if it's good, maybe. I mean, if it's good, a lot
I've
of
seen
people
a
said.
lot of more advertising for Rocket Man than I have for Godzilla.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen a single commercial for Rocket Man. I can't remember seeing a single
I've seen
commercial.
a boat.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree.
don't remember
The only
seeing
thing
it.
I saw of Godzilla was in the movie theater before Avengers. They played the
Interesting.
long
I don't remember seeing Rocket
trailer.
Man.
Constant Rocket Man.
We'll check out next week to find out who is able to take, if anyone's able to take down Aladdin. If Godzilla's got it in him. Her. Is it her? What is it? I don't even know. I think the original's a girl, right? The Japanese
My
version.
Godzilla knowledge is
I
limited.
think she's okay. Well, we'll find out on the next edition of Inside Media Weekly. Thanks for joining us.
Remember that list?